When 17-year-old Ellie Carter accepted a last-minute babysitting job in the quiet town of Woodpine, it was supposed to be just another easy gig. The kind she'd done dozens of times before: put the baby to bed, raid the pantry for snacks, scroll through TikTok until the parents got home. Nothing out of the ordinary. At 6:48 p.m., Ellie arrived at the Ridley residence. Security footage shows her waving politely to the doorbell camera, holding a small backpack and wearing a light blue hoodie. She texted her mom a quick "all good" at 7:05 p.m. By all accounts, the night was going fine. By 7:30, Mason, the Ridley's 6-month-old son, was asleep in his crib. Ellie made popcorn, turned on a movie, and even posted a silly Instagram story of her singing to the baby monitor. Her last post. What happened after 11:52 p.m. remains a mystery. When the Ridleys returned home around 12:30 a.m., they found the front door locked from the inside. The lights were dim. The baby, still asleep. But Ellie? She was gone. No note, no call, no sound. Her phone wasn't in sight. Her shoes were still by the door. Her half-eaten popcorn bowl was on the counter. But the most chilling part, the baby monitor. A yellow sticky note had been taped directly over the lens of the camera facing the crib. In thick black marker, it read, "Don't look in the mirror." At first, detectives assumed it was a prank. Maybe Ellie had left it as a joke. But no one was laughing. Upstairs, just outside the nursery, there was a full-length mirror bolted to the wall. One of those decorative vintage styles, with a cracked gold frame and slightly warped glass. Behind it, they found a small latch, almost invisible unless you knew where to look. Behind that mirror was a crawl space. Dusty, narrow, and cold. A place no one had entered in years. At least, that's what the Ridleys claimed. Inside, investigators found Ellie's smashed phone, a torn section of her hoodie, and a faded Polaroid photograph. It showed a little girl, maybe 5 or 6, sitting on the floor in that same crawl space. On the back, in shaky handwriting, "She won't stop crying." Forensics pulled the SIM card from Ellie's phone. On it was a single video clip, time-stamped at 12:16 a.m., just 9 minutes before the Ridleys returned home. In the dim light of the crawl space, Ellie appeared on screen. Her face pale, her breathing ragged. "If anyone finds this, something's wrong with this house. I thought I heard a rat in the walls, but now I know. It's not a rat. There's a tunnel behind the mirror. I think someone's been watching me. Please, don't let them erase me." The clip ends with static. A faint scraping sound can be heard in the background, growing louder just before the video cuts off. When detectives ran background checks on the Ridleys and the property, they uncovered something long buried. In 1993, the original owners of the home, George and Lillian Travers, vanished along with their 2 children. No signs of struggle, no forced entry. Just gone. The only clue left behind was a shattered mirror on the second floor, broken from the inside out. The case went cold. Digging deeper, investigators learned that Andrew Ridley, the current homeowner, had inherited the house through a convoluted legal trust tied to his uncle. That uncle? George Travers. No connection had ever been made, until now. Further inspection of the house revealed something even more disturbing. In the basement, behind a faux utility wall, they found a hidden room. Completely sealed off. Soundproofed. Inside were scraps of children's drawings, an old crib, rusted chains attached to the wall, and the faint stench of bleach. But no Ellie. Days passed. The town held vigils. Flyers went up. The case became national news. Then, 3 days later, a hiker in the Maplewood Preserve, 10 miles from town, found a teenage girl stumbling through the trees, barefoot, bleeding, and dazed. It was Ellie. She was taken to the hospital, severely dehydrated and disoriented, but alive. After regaining her strength, Ellie told detectives everything she remembered. She said she heard scratching behind the mirror shortly after midnight. When she investigated, a panel swung open and someone grabbed her from behind. A cloth was pressed to her face. She woke up in a concrete room with no windows and only a flickering bulb above her. Her wrists had been zip-tied. She screamed for hours. She remembered a masked man, tall, silent, always watching but never speaking. He fed her once. The next night, The lights went out briefly, and she felt around in the dark until she found a loose pipe near the ceiling. She used it to pry open a vent and crawled blindly through tight, suffocating ducts until she emerged in the woods. DNA collected from the hidden room and the crawl space came back with a hit. Victor Lang. A former handyman who had worked on the Travers property in the early 90s. Lang had been questioned in the original disappearance but never charged. He vanished shortly after the Travers family did. Believed dead. Until now. A nationwide manhunt began. Ellie returned home to her family. Traumatized but healing. The baby, Mason, was unharmed. The Ridleys sold the house within a month. No one knows what Victor Lang's motive was, or how long he had been living in the walls of that house. What is known is that Ellie's message, her warning, her courage, saved her life. And maybe others. Today, Ellie Carter is 18 years old. She still refuses to walk past mirrors at night. But she's studying criminal psychology and plans to become a forensic investigator. Some stories are too strange to be fiction. But this one? Maybe it's safer if it is.